good morning. It's so lovely to
Morning,
be
Joy.
with you again. I'm Joy Gleeson, and I bring you greetings from Jennifer Sanders. Do you remember Jennifer? She came to see me on Friday, and she did part of her placement when she was training to be a Unitarian minister here with you. Didn't do her any harm. She's the minister at Brighton now. So I bring you greetings and hello to all of you listening and watching at home, especially Anne. So here we are, and I'm going to begin by lighting this beautiful chalice. This is our Unitarian tradition all over the country, all over the world probably. There are people in congregations gathering together, lighting a candle, lighting a chalice. So in the moment we look at this flame, we are in connection with all of those people. And we're in connection with all of the people who gather together in prayer. Whatever kind of prayer, whatever religious or faith path they're on. And today, I know there's so many things going on in the world that are unspeakably horrible. But one of the things that's on my mind is Venezuela and the tragedy that's going on out there. So rather than sending our prayers out in a scattered way, I wonder if you'll join me in focusing on this light and sending it to one man. He's called Tom Fletcher, and he's United Nations emergency man. He has the skills, the knowledge, the power, the influence to change things for people who are in dire trouble. So what if we gather our collective thoughts and wishes, send them to him, and see him being active, see him bringing about the changes that are required, seeing him encouraging others to do their best, to use their skills, see miracles happening in the most dire circumstances. See lost people being found. See tragedies being averted. See sadness being comforted. So as we gaze at this light and we take a breath and we know that we're here safe and well and in the company of people who like and respect us, our friends, we're in fellowship here. We can send our collective love and powerful strength out to this man, Tom Fletcher, and he can and will make a difference. He's making a difference now, even as we speak. And the music that led us into our service is called The Healing Field, and it's from Neil Douglas Klotz. And Neil Douglas Klotz teaches the prayer that Jesus taught us, but in Aramaic, the language Jesus would have used. So that's the background to that music. It's so peaceful, so healing. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you hold that feeling in your hearts. Because today, Kat told me that yesterday was the birthday or the anniversary of the birth of a woman called Helen Keller. Oh, you know Helen Keller. You see, this always makes me nervous because I know there are people here who know far more than I do about history and individuals in history. So, of course, I looked her up and I brought the notes. I'm going to leave them here for you, because she was so admirable and such a remarkable woman. In fact, I have a quote somewhere. Yes, here it is. Mark Twain said that the two greatest characters of the 19th century are Napoleon and Helen Keller. Napoleon tried to conquer the world by physical force and failed. Helen Keller tried to conquer the world by the power of her mind and succeeded. And she means something to me. So I remember, and I realised it was when I was about 7, I saw a programme about her life, a film about her life. And what I remember, because I'm old now, but what I do remember is as a child, seeing someone talking into a balloon. Did you ever see this? And the deaf child is holding the balloon. And it must have been her teacher, Anne Sullivan, talking into the balloon so that Helen could feel the vibration. And that was the beginning of Helen learning to communicate. She'd been born a perfectly healthy child, but at 19 months she'd become very ill, terrible fever, and she'd lost her sight and her hearing. She was deaf-blind. So this child, who it turned out was an incredibly intelligent person, was so frustrated and angry, and her parents didn't know what to do with her until they found her this teacher. And she went on to change the world, as Mark Twain said. She was an amazing advocate for the goodness and the potential of everybody, no matter what their ability or disability. One of the things that we talk about in the 21st century is that disability is the way the world treats people. If we in our society can't make it possible for people to live a life and contribute all they have to contribute, it's because society disables them with steps, silly things like that. But Helen Keller was foremost in the early 20th century in promoting equality, no matter what, age, skin colour, ability, disability. What a remarkable woman to overcome such terrible tragedy in her life and to make it work for her. She made it her driving power, her superpower, we might say now. So here we are remembering that woman. And because I know that I'm not a historian and I'm embarrassed to be in the presence of people who are, I thought about what she means to me. I thought about that memory of overcoming deaf blindness through the vibration, through using the other senses. And I thought about, let this service be in memory of her and a celebration of our senses. So the first hymn is going to be hymn number 151, Be Thou My Vision. So this was my inspiration, to think about our senses and to give praise for our senses. So a few weeks ago, because Kat's very efficient, she needs these notes in plenty of time. And a few weeks ago, when I was preparing this, the heat was not so oppressive. I don't know if you remember this. And I was sitting in the garden in the gentle sunshine, and I was listening to a peal of bells coming up from the town. I could smell the wisteria blossom. The wisteria was still out then, and the warmth on the ground beneath my feet. And I became aware of the birds singing all around me and the gentle trickle of the water in our water feature. And I realized how grateful I am for all of my senses, even though I had to hunt high and low for my specs. Yes, so I could see the computer screen. So there I was, and for my first reading, you won't be surprised that I chose Mary Oliver. Am I the only one who chooses Mary Oliver? Oh, good. She's my signature poet. And this is a poem of hers called At the River Clarion. And she's encouraging us to look deeply, listen deeply, and tenderly integrate into nature our surroundings and our frail humanity. I don't know who God is exactly, but I'll tell you this. I was sitting in the river named Clarion on a water-splashed stone, and all afternoon I listened to the voices of the river talking. Whenever the water struck a stone, it had something to say. And the water itself, and even the mosses trailing under the water, and slowly, very slowly, it became clear to me what they were saying. Said the river, I am part of holiness. And I too, said the stone, and I too, whispered the moss beneath the water. I'd been to the river before a few times. Don't blame the river that nothing happened quickly. You don't hear such voices in an hour or a day. You don't hear them at all if selfhood has stuffed your ears, and it's difficult to hear anything anyway, through all the traffic, the ambition. If God exists, he isn't just butter and good luck. He's also the tick that killed my wonderful dog Luke. Said the river, imagine everything you can imagine and then keep on going. Imagine how the lily, who may also be a part of God, would sing to you if it could sing, if you would pause to hear it. And how are you so certain anyway that it doesn't sing? If God exists, he isn't just churches and mathematics. He's the forest, he's the desert. He's the ice caps that are dying. He's the ghetto and the Museum of Fine Arts. He's Van Gogh and Allen Ginsberg and Robert Motherwell. He's the many desperate hands cleaning and preparing their weapons. He's every one of us potentially. The leaf of grass, the genius, the politician, the poet. And if this is true, isn't it something very important? Yes, it could be that I'm a tiny piece of God, and each of you too, at least of his intentions and hopes, which is a delight beyond measure. I don't know how you get to suspect such an idea. I only know that the river kept on singing. It wasn't a persuasion. It was all the river's own constant joy, which was better by far than a lecture, which was comfortable, exciting, unforgettable. Of course, for each of us there is the daily life. Let us live it gesture by gesture. When we cut the ripe melon, should we not give it thanks? And should we not thank the knife also? We do not live in a simple world. There was someone I loved who grew old and ill. One by one, I watched the fires go out. There was nothing I could do, except to remember that we receive and then we give back. My dog Luke lies in the grave in the forest. She is given back. That the river Clarion still flows from whenever it comes from to wherever it has been told to go. I pray for the desperate earth. I pray for the desperate world. I do the little each person can do. It isn't much. Sometimes the river murmurs, sometimes it raves. Along its shore, where, may I say, very intense cardinal flowers and trees and birds that have wings to uphold them, for heaven's sake, the lucky ones. They have such deep natures, they're so happily obedient. While I sit here in a house filled with books, ideas, doubts, hesitations, and still pressed deep into my mind, the river keeps coming, touching me, passing by on its long journey, its pale, infallible voice, singing. Could spend a lifetime just listening to that poem, taking it in, living it. And it makes me think about Helen Keller and her relationship to water, and something she said about it's easier to teach an intelligent blind person to see the wonders of Niagara than to teach ignorance to think. So she too was deeply affected by water and the miracles of nature and the world around her. You know, a friend of mine, another Unitarian minister, said to me recently, she thinks our individual services all come back to a central theme. I know that mine depends quite a lot on the thinking of Mary Oliver. I think this is my theme, the desire to go on seeking a deeper connection with Creator Spirit through a more intimate and intense relationship with creation. And that's what the poet leads me into. So let's take a breath and let's really be here with these beautiful, mighty companions around us, with the light of this candle, this chalice that reminds us we're in sacred space in this moment. And feel our feet on the ground. Feel the breath coming in and out. And feel gratitude for these things, these simple things. Life is not simple, but here and now, simply being here can be such a huge blessing. So I invite you into the second hymn. Let it be a dance we do.
Let it be a dance. we go again. Let it be a dance.
I love the words of that. They become more meaningful each time I sing it. And very often, you know, when I come here, and I'm here with friends again, and I'm so glad you're so forgiving of my various weaknesses, but we'll skim over that. But I often think that a service is like a walk, that we go on a walk together. But I wonder if today's could be a bit of a dance. Without standing up, obviously. You know, I was very lucky this year. I was able to go to Australia, where my son John, his wife Gabby, and 2 grandchildren, Alexander and Soraya, live. And so for me, it was the deepening of my connection with them. But also I wanted to deepen my connection with the flora and the fauna and the history of Australia. Australia, you know, has been inhabited for 69,000 years. Isn't that mind-boggling? 69,000 years. But it's only been like 250 years, blink of an eye, that white people have been out there developing it. The First Nations people, they've got a remarkable, I think, culture of listening. That's one of the things I wanted to learn about. They listen to country. They don't just listen to the person they're speaking to or listening to. They listen to country. They listen to the ancestors. So the ancestors is the wisdom of people, older people around them, but also the people of the tribe who've handed down the knowledge. And listening to country is listening to, just like the poet said, the stones, the moss, the animals, the birds. And I became more and more deeply immersed in that, particularly when I saw the celebrations for Australia Day. That what's happening there, to my eyes, and to, I think this is the intention, is this wonderful healing, because there were terrible atrocities committed when people first went to us, when white people first landed on the shores of Australia. The Australian wars were terrible and bloody. And there is a healing going on now where this is being recognised. And wherever you go, there are signs on buildings, in places, in open spaces that say this is the unceded land of whatever tribe owned the land, lived there. And when you go to any occasion, for example, I went to an art exhibition, and the person who was showing us around the art exhibition said, and I want to remind you and pay tribute to the ancestors of the tribe who owned this land, or who own this land. It's the unceded land. So these memories are being brought up, they're being healed, so that the Australian people as a whole have access to 69,000 years of history, culture, knowledge. Isn't that the most remarkable thing? It's hard for me to even talk about it without, my heart seems to clench and then open. It's such a remarkable thing. And learning about the original, the people who lived there originally, the First Nations people. My daughter-in-law told me that she learned that they were nomadic, that they travelled all over the country. In fact, that's not true, we realise now. They travelled, but within a set sort of distance. And the tribes all had their totems. What this means is individual tribes and even individual people would eat and drink in certain places and of certain plants and animals, but there were others they wouldn't touch. And because this was such an individual thing to the people and to the tribe, or the mob, isn't that great? You're my mob. It meant that they could take what they needed to survive, but not take so much that other people couldn't survive and indeed thrive. It's their amazing art and culture. So these were things that weren't obvious even when my daughter-in-law was at school. But these things are opening up. People are taking in this knowledge and this culture and being glad of it. Not everyone, of course. I read a most excoriating article in the paper about these messages in the museum. Some hearts take longer to soften, don't they? But I was so glad to be there and to witness the dawn ceremony where First Nations people came dressed in what they would wear, their national garb, if you like, and with their faces painted and using these things called clapsticks to make a rhythm. And what they did was call in the energies of the north, south, east, and west, something that I've done often. Have you done that? Yeah, really. So isn't that beautiful to feel that connection? And then they did various dances that mimicked the animals around them so brilliantly. That close connection that they have. And, the one that I want so desperately, so earnestly, with the nature of the country, the flora, the fauna around them. And all I can do is marvel about that. It's taken 250 years to close this gap between thinking of people who were so strange, so different from us, as less than us. I speak as the white, I'm a child of the generations who went over there. How strange it's taken 250 years, but now the gap is closing and we're all blessed by it. So what I want to do now is to give you some time to be quiet and to focus in on your senses, on what you have to be grateful for, on your ancestors, on your culture. I wonder how many different cultures there are here in this room. Though looking around us, we don't look that different. But I bet there are lots of family stories, family histories, family cultures here in this room that have brought us here today to be the people we are. I'm going to lead you in with a prayer from Meister Eckhart, who's another of my favourites. So if you'd like to, please make yourselves comfortable. Close your eyes if that feels comfortable. And breathe in this clean Devon air. Feel it enter your body. And know that your body is taking up what it needs, the oxygen that it needs. And then on the out breath, just let go of anything that might stop you being fully present to the miracle of breathing, of being here together. And knowing that our out-breath will go out into the universe and feed the trees and the shrubs. Simply by becoming aware of our breathing, we're part of this miracle of life. Right here, right now. Life is living through us. We are being breathed. So let yourself be comfortable. Let yourself trust in the holding of that chair. Trust in the fellowship of those around you. A monk rose from his knees and declared the grandeur of God. All praise and glory are yours, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Be quiet, hushed his brother in the dark from the next cell. You dishonor the one you most intend to praise. Listen to this stone. It too is an utterance of God. Listening to your own breathing, your own heartbeat. Let your own heart space be filled with gratitude for your life, for your breath, for your senses, and for the people around you who hold you, encourage you, and make life the beautiful thing that it is. Let that gratitude just grow and grow in your heart space, like a rose in full bloom. There are so many different ways to pray. Here and now, feeling this gratitude, this love. This is a powerful prayer. So I say, Amen. May this be the ground from which my future actions grow. Amen. There was a line in that song about a feather on the wind. And Hildegard of Bingen, 12th century nun, spoke about prayer being a feather on the breath of God. And she said, O fire of the Holy Spirit, life of the life of all living beings, you are wholly sacred. You give shape to all forms, O most courageous path, penetrating all places. The height of the heavens, the contours of the earth, the depth of every abyss. You gather everything together and safely bind it. Clouds spin out from you. Air unfolds from you. Stones derive their temperament from you. Rivers spring forth from your waters, and earth exudes her green vitality. Let that glorious prayer and praises fill your being right now with gratitude and love. Whenever you're ready, open your eyes again, and I invite you to look around at your mighty companions. How wonderful to be in the company of all these lovely people, and all the lovely people who are joining us on Zoom. So I'm going to try now. Oh, are they? Oh, how lovely. They're waving. So I'm going to try now to bring us back a bit to Helen Keller, because she is the influence behind all of this. It was she who made me sit down and write this. So she was an American educator, advocate for the blind and deaf. Stricken by illness before she was 2, she was left blind and deaf. But her teacher helped her to make tremendous progress with her ability to communicate. So she went on to college, graduating with honors. And she received so many honors during her lifetime. These are some of the things that she said. A happy life consists not in the absence, but in the mastery of hardships. The bulk of the world's knowledge is an imaginary construction. The bulk of the world's knowledge is an imaginary construction. That's a thought, isn't it? And she didn't let that stop her from being a powerful force in the world. This construction that if you're deaf and dumb, deaf and blind rather, you can't speak, you can't communicate, you can't change the world. She absolutely did change the world. We differ, blind and seeing one from another, not in our senses, but in the use we make of them, in the imagination and courage with which we seek wisdom beyond the senses. The mystery of language was revealed to me. I knew then that water, W-A-T-E-R, meant the wonderful, cool something that was flowing over my hand. That living word awakened my soul, gave it light, hope, joy, set it free. Isn't that a beautiful thing? Beyond the senses to truly being alive. Everything has its wonders, even darkness and silence. And I learn, whatever state I may be in, therein to be content. Thank you so much, my friends, for coming on this dance with me. I'm going to try and bring this together now. We began the day by thinking about our fellow human beings in crisis, and we used our fellowship, our compassion, to send help and support. It's particularly to those who are empowered to bring practical help. Our service is dedicated to Helen Keller, and she learned to experience her senses differently when she lost her hearing and her sight. So she was enabled to go out into the world and work for freedom and the recognition of the essential worth of all human life. You know, this does seem particularly important to me anyway. The essential worth of all human beings. Here in the 21st century in the USA, when we consider the powers at work there now. The essential worth of all human life. Thinking about lives and experiences that are so different from our own, I realize that it's too much. My mind boggles. So I'm really grateful for those words of Helen's that I quoted earlier. The bulk of the world's knowledge is an imaginary construction. So what if we lose our heads and come to our senses, as Fritz Perls, the Gestalt man, said? Listen to the sounds around us and in us. Feel the texture of life. Smooth pebbles, crisp cotton sheets, cool trickling water, and the warmth of the sun on our skin. Helen Keller noticed. She noticed it's more difficult to teach ignorance to think than it is to teach an intelligent blind man to see the grandeur of Niagara. So sitting here today, we see the beauty of this building. And we see the lovely faces of our companions. And some of our companions can see our lovely faces. And for this time, we can feel the fellowship in this community and know our safe place here. This is our safe place. This is our healing space. There is so much to be grateful for. So I want to end this with Helen's wise and wonderful words. Everything has its wonders, even darkness and silence. And I learn whatever state I may be in, therein to be content. Everything has its wonders, even darkness and silence. And whatever state I may be in, therein to be content. My friends, I wish you that sense of contentment, not just now, but that you would take that out with you. So our final hymn is One More Step Along the Road I Go.
One more step along the world I go. One more step along the world I go. From the old things to the new. Keep me traveling along with you. And it's from the old I travel to the new. Keep me traveling along with you. Round the corners of the world I turn. More and more around the world I turn. All the new things that I see, you'll be looking at along with me. And it's from the old I travel to the new. Keep me traveling along with you. As I travel through the bad and good, keep me traveling the way I should. Where I see nowhere to go, you'll be telling me the way I know. And it's from the old I travel to the new. Keep me traveling along with you. Give me courage when the world is rough. Keep me loving though the world is tough. Leave birds singing all I do. Keep me traveling along with you. And it's from the old I travel to the new. Keep me traveling along with you. You are older than the world can be. You are younger than the life in me. Ever old and ever new. Keep me traveling along with you. And it's from the old I travel to the new. Keep me traveling along with you.
Standing if you can, just for a moment. And if I may, I'm going to send blessings down on you. The blessings of life, blessings of love, the blessings of fellowship, and the blessings of gratitude for all we see, all we receive, all we give. May you, my friends, know that you are blessed. And in the darkest times, may you know where to find the light. Amen. Please sit. And I'm going to extinguish the light of the candle.